Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. As you see from the title, this video is going to be a little bit different from all of I have posted recently. So I was thinking, I'm a huge movie and TV show geek, and I thought I always have an opinion about movies and maybe I should share them with you guys. So this is where I came up with the idea that I should probably now and then post some videos telling about the movies that I recently watched and also TV shows, and you will hear from me how did I like it and if I suggest you to watch it or maybe not. Don't be scared, there will be no spoilers in my reviews, only some basic facts, some information about the plot, maybe some interesting facts about the filming process, and at the end you will hear if I suggest, don't suggest, or I felt like the movie is so-so. So let's start. The first movie I'm going to talk to you about is called Nobody. It was released just recently on March 2021, and if you think it's just another action movie, then I'm saying, oh no, you should try and watch this, and I'm going to explain you why. So the leading role has been given to an actor, Bob Odenkirk, that we all know from the famous TV show Better Call Saul, and now I hear you thinking, I cannot imagine this actor being the leading character in an action movie. Believe me, I thought the same thing, and oh my god, he nailed it. The movie is saturated with action in all of its means, like there is shooting, there is fighting, there is explosion, there is car racing and everything. The main character, called Hutch, portrayed by Bob Odenkirk, is very cold-blooded. He is very strong, he knows a lot, and it's quite interesting to see how he's fighting against Russian mafia. Sorry, that's the only spoiler I'm giving out today. The actor was actually putting a lot of effort in preparation process for this movie. He was doing a lot of physique improvement activities, also doing some fighting, and most of the stunts in this movie are actually done by him. This is a surprising fact considering that his previous fame came with Better Call Saul, where he was doing nothing like that.
I would go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. I'd work out on the days I didn't go to the gym, but I would go to the stunt training gym and get professional training 2 or 3 days a week. And I did that for 2 years.
The movie is written by Derek Kolstad, who is the creator of John Wick franchise, and maybe this will kind of also give you a hint about what to expect from this movie. Of course, when people got to know that Nobody is created by the person who created John Wick franchise, they immediately wanted to know if there is actually a chance that John Wick might have a crossover with Hutch in some of the future movies, and this is what he answered. I think these are two very separate things that if they were to ever converge at a certain point, it would be the two of them walking through an airport and just giving each other a nod. Nobody is directed by Russian movie director Ilya Naishuller. You might know him because he has created the quite famous movie called Hardcore Henry. I must be honest, I didn't actually enjoy Hardcore Henry, but I'm actually enjoying Nobody. And most probably they thought it would be fun to invite a Russian director in a movie where the main character is actually fighting the Russian mafia, but that's just like my assumption. What I enjoy so much about the end result is that it's violent. Absolutely. Bone-crunching. Absolutely. Yet, it's never dark. You come out of the movie and you don't feel like, oh, got to take a shower. The character in that moment, he's super rough, he's cutting through them, but it's just not mean-spirited. The whole movie is not mean-spirited.
Well, look, I do think the character in Nobody is relatable. Just picture every parent in the backseat of their car trying to find the kitty cat bracelet or the thing that their child lost that means so much to their kid, and they're frustrated and they've got 30 things to do right now and they can't find that damn bracelet. And they're in their mind, they're feeling the way Hutch is with the gun out. Give me that goddamn kitty cat bracelet. The feeling of having, you know, kids, but having your neighbor who's like a single guy who's got a really cool sports car and he's bragging about it to you and your son kind of looks at him and thinks, that guy's cool. My dad isn't cool.
As I'm a fan of Russian movies, it was a pleasure to spot many Russian actors in the movie. Actually, it is always a pleasure to see Russians speaking Russian in Hollywood movies. As a Russian speaker, it always hurts my ears hearing how English-speaking people try to be and speak Russian. The movie is quite highly rated, and it doesn't surprise me. On IMDb, it has 7.4 rating, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 82%, which is quite high. So if I had to conclude my review and say if I suggest or don't suggest, or if it's so-so, I say suggest. I can say this, I would be very happy to see what is going on with Hutch in the future, so I hope they make some other movies about him. Number 2. On April 2021, the long-awaited movie called Mortal Kombat was released. I must just add that I'm not a huge fan of different fighting games, but I know that this game is really legendary and all the characters are quite popular, even to those who don't play the game, like for me. I know who Sub-Zero is and maybe some other characters that I cannot recall. Yeah. So, but the fact is that I'm actually living with a person who was growing up with that game. He knows everything about that game and he's a huge fan. So I was kind of forced to watch it, but from the other side I was quite intrigued to see what's the fuss about it. Mortal Kombat is an American media franchise centered on a series of video games originally developed in 1992. Fun fact, the original idea was to make the game on the basis of Jean-Claude Van Damme as the leading character, but it did not work. So they created a character named Johnny Cage, who is kinda inspired by Van Damme, and also his initials are the same. So the game got very famous. It has received many gamer-related awards, they made many spin-offs, sequels, comic book series, and later on also movies. But because of the violence depicted there, and gamers will like me saying fatalities, many countries have banned this game. If you know the game, you will be very surprised and very happy to see so many characters from the game in that movie. I think I was quite surprised and quite entertained. So please don't be harsh on me, I'm the person who doesn't know much about Mortal Kombat, so I was watching the movie like a simple person who just came to cinema. Actually, there are quite many interesting fighting scenes and they were exciting to watch.
So we're making a film for the world, which I don't know if it's big enough to encompass the universe of Mortal Kombat, because that's even a greater game. That's 7 different realms. I can geek out about that for hours. But we want to make a film that's representative. I think in terms of blood, the whole film is about blood. Blood in terms of every human being bleeds. Blood in terms of blood runs in the family and how important that is. Blood in terms of passion, in terms of fury. I've done so much fighting in my life. Even when I was being bullied in high school and I was fighting every day, I've never done so much fighting in my life. And sometimes it felt pretty real because we really wanted to get the physical feeling of this movie. Simon really wanted that in his vision so that people can feel it like that.
But what I do know from different interviews and doing research about how the movie was made and what was interesting about it, I found out that actually the screenwriters decided to put a new character into that movie. The new character's name is Cole Young, who is portrayed by Chinese-British actor Louis Tan. And I think he managed well with his role.
The reason that I really liked this idea was that it allows us as storytellers to bring something new to the table. For me, it felt like while the primary objective was to be faithful to the mythology as much as we possibly could and to the lore, we also wanted to make sure that we weren't just retelling the same thing that had been told 100 times before that. You know, this was never going to be a remake of the old film. This was a reboot. You know, it was never that he was going to become like the poster child and take over the whole thing. It was always that it would become an ensemble, and all those kind of iconic classic characters would kind of be unlocked along your journey.
But his character, Cole Young, is not like a complete stranger to Mortal Kombat scene. The writers created a story around him that makes sense. Not giving out the spoilers though. And another thing, just for the intrigue, there is one awaited character from Mortal Kombat scene you won't see in the movie. However, you will get the hint of him at the end of the movie, which makes you think there will be a sequel. All in all, if I had to like judge the movie, and if I have to say if I suggest or not, this is a tricky moment, because for those who are Mortal Kombat game fans, it's a must to watch, so they don't need any opinion from me. For those who are like me, who are interested to see it, to get more acquainted with the Mortal Kombat world, I would say go for it, try it, and maybe you will discover something new for yourself, and maybe you will start to play the game, you know. Who am I to say? But yeah, for me personally, it was so-so, but I think I'm in a position where I am not allowed to say to somebody watch it or not. It's just very tricky. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my first little review about 2 movies I watched this week. I hope it will give you some kind of understanding about both of these movies, and I will be very happy if you would choose any of these movies for your weekend entertainment. Let me know in comments how did you like any of these movies. Maybe you have already seen them and you have your own opinion. I will be very happy to read that. Also, I'm inviting you to write down in comments any kind of newest movies or TV shows you would suggest me to watch and review in my following movie TV show review.
Put your likes so that I know you like these kind of videos, and of course press that subscription button, notification bell, in order not to miss out any of my future videos. These and many others I have on the channel.
That being said, have a nice day. See you next time.
So a movie geek, so I decided here and let you know if I liked it or not, and if I'm suggesting you to watch it or not. But the things you have.
So, but the good thing about this movie is that in comparison to other Mortal Kombat, the good thing about